Family law. I'm going to give you a scenario as it's relevant to everyone, I believe. Say, for instance, Susan and James are happily married for 5 years. And now, like most couples, they have a number of arguments. However, the reason why James has been arguing with Susan is because James feels Susan is far too independent and spending far too much time on her own. And now Susan doesn't agree. So that makes James much more frustrated. And unfortunately, he turns physical violence towards Susan.
Husbands are not allowed to beat their wives under any circumstances. Any physical violence that creates a mark on Susan's body would give her the right to get medical reports and file a criminal case against him, followed by a family case in Dubai courts.
Okay, and what can Susan do straight away if she becomes a victim?
A medical report has to be taken as soon as possible. Criminal charges are optional. If she's been physically abused, her husband might face a jail sentence. If she doesn't wish to go through with criminal proceedings, she might keep the medical report in her file and use it before the family courts as grounds to get a divorce.
Okay, what happens? Is there anything different if, say, Susan and James are of different nationalities?
As long as the physical violence was committed in the UAE territory, criminal proceedings can be done. Before the family case, they consider the residence visa. If both of them are UAE residents, the family proceedings can be done before the family judge.
What is the law in the UAE for marriage between different nationalities?
If the parties are Muslims, a Muslim wife wouldn't be allowed to marry a non-Muslim man. However, a Muslim man has the right to marry a Christian or Jewish wife. There are a lot of certain requirements for Muslim couples to marry, like having a witness, paying a lump sum amount on the marriage, which we called a dowry, having the father or the guardian of the wife attend and accepting the ceremony. That's for Muslims, but for non-Muslims, we wouldn't need any of these. Any marriage done before a governmental entity, foreign governmental entity, and fully attested can be used before the courts to get recognized.
What is the law regarding divorce? If you're from different nationalities, does it make a difference? Or is it different if you're just Muslim in this country?
As long as both parties are a UAE resident, they have the right to apply for their own laws. And they have the right to use UAE laws if they fail to provide a copy of their own laws. UAE courts doesn't require a minimum period of stay in the UAE to apply for a divorce, as long as the parties have their own resident visa. Unlike other countries, which would require them to stay in their own jurisdiction for a minimum period. For like some countries, 6 months, and some others up to a year. Here, you just get your residence visa, and UAE courts would accept your application.
Okay, so what's the difference between divorce and annulment then in the UAE?
If the marriage is done against the UAE public morals, it'll be considered invalid and the wife will have to apply for an annulment. But if it's done complying with the UAE laws, annulment is not an option. We'll have to only apply for divorce.
Okay. Are the rights the same for the husband or are they different?
The same applies on the husband.
Okay, thank you.
To receive more informative videos from our channel, click the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Please feel free to like, share, or leave a comment or question which will be answered in our next videos.